Africa, the continent with the greatest biodiversity on Earth. Beckoning for centuries to travelers and adventurers, she lures us in with her scenery, her wildlife, and her beauty. But alas, these are modern times. Our beautiful continent no longer balanced. Fast-growing human populations and ever-expanding cities threaten to swallow these beautiful scenes. Hungry mouths threaten to consume her resources, and human greed threatens to push some species to the very brink of extinction. But there is hope. We have our conservationists, the protectors of our wildlife and our wild places. In modern times, the greatest conservationists of all are those who give wildlife value. Many of the well-meaning lovers of wildlife and conservationists are unwittingly voting against the balance and well-being of the wildlife they love so much. Indeed, if left unchecked, unmanaged and unprotected, it will be the tribal people of Africa who decide the fate of the wildlife, all of which will be used to fill stomachs and pockets until there is none left. This is a short journey, a final cry, a conservationist's cry.
Komsena, ta thokomelo metsina ka ta kae hu.
Ngskar ko si kai ti ngcham ika. Mut kwa te ga ko sar ko kama mut tai ga kwa cham ko.
Kae se metsi ko na tia ju kwa te kama ma kwa te ke tu ma kwa te kama na ka cham ta ka ba hu. Na chi na kae ka huan.
Kai ko ngira me kaer ko ngir ika. Ta bandum kar ko kai. Ka hore ingir ko kai kar ko kayam ko to ba kai du.
Ko ko. Atia ku kaya ku ni. Atia si kama ha.
Thase domangska thase koi tama kama ko ngai tama ku kama thase koi tama kama si to kama sim to te ko ka to cha ka ga khung ka ti ga ko ka to cha ka thum ka ko to ka khung ka cha si ka hem ka ko ka te ku cha ka kama I kam ka te ka ku ka si ka hin sa ngai o ka si kuma ka ta ko cha ka to cha ka kuma ka ko
Years ago, we released 17 lion into this 850,000 acre conservancy. Today we have over 500 lion. The lion hunting has generated over $1 million of revenue, and that's what it takes to run a park like this, which is surrounded by a 450-kilometer fence with over 400 employees. It's a perfect example of how they have managed to sustain a wildlife area and have knock-on benefits for the community around here. We have 28 collared lion here, and I've had predator researchers based here doing research over the last almost decade. It looks like there's a bleak future for the research because we will no longer be able to afford to continue this research and maintain those collars if we're not getting the revenue from the hunting. This is the king of the beasts, and it's one of the few properties in Africa where their population is still expanding. Free-ranging population that is very important to the future of lion and their footprint in Africa, and it's in jeopardy at the moment.
Megurenzerillo garagamo iturogi sumba yoga mali rukumo wole rukulie ne duli hode na wudo eragire masumbarang tangara gana na yedo eragode ralo gara wanga nyabe ndo garu enna habe ubir nole ranga irogi sida kagoro hirara de unolongi megurelio homera nalen ogoldo airu merira ramuranga saha wole nyalo ben bila nani wonaro nosero nedi iruranga za tokol anare lidage nara irungel merira raljang tokol nedi loidi goishi no loro ne kolisiruai kunyi agere ne nagara na lodo nyo na lo enkarin nedi wole nara rendo ngole na iwana wana leng leganja woni amo e awura ko logo de baya kollo aro de ne we na wora wole mera duanga merira nya na wa mudanga saha.
Namibia is a wonderful country with all the wildlife and the opportunity that we have to own the land and own the wildlife. That's the wonderful part about it. You know, the hunters come in and spend a lot of money here to make it possible for us to convert from cattle land, convert it back into a wonderful wildlife ranch where we could reintroduce all the wildlife that was here before. Game doesn't destroy the land like the domestic stock. They live with the land, and instead of overgraze it and really destroy the land, game is very sustainable. Hunting in Namibia is slowly becoming one of the biggest resources in Namibia. Through sustainable hunting and utilization of the game, it has just worked wonderful for Namibia, and it's grown by the year, and it's a great resource for the government, for the people, the animals. Everyone is benefiting out of that.
These properties in South Africa from the early 90s, people started converting old cattle farms into game ranches. In those days, they estimated that there were about 600,000 animals in South Africa, and today they estimate that there are between 16 and 20 million animals on these reserves. It's had a tremendous increase in biodiversity, and all this has been made possible by the huge influx of hunters' dollars. A few of these animals have to die. to support the others. If we hope to conserve these areas and we hope to preserve the wildlife, we will have to continue hunting. There is just absolutely no other way. This is my life and livelihood. Without hunters' dollars, this would not be possible.
I first set foot in the Zambezi Delta in 1995. There were only 1,200 buffalo back in those days. Today, thanks to hunters and hunters' dollars, we have well over 25,000. Sable, we had only a known 44 animals in those days. Today, we're close to 4,000. I often wonder where the game would be without the backing and conservation of hunters. We believe all the animals deserve our protection, from the little Sunni all the way through to the elephants. Hunters' dollars have allowed us to run a professional anti-poaching unit, which has helped us tremendously with the conserving of wildlife. Today, my unit has found an area that the poachers are operating in. They found a couple of whip snares, and probably one of the worst is a gin trap. Behind me are the snares that the anti-poaching unit has taken out over the last 12 months. Approximately 1,000 heavy cable snares and 2,500 light Sunni snares. In addition to this, we take out about 100 gin traps plus per year. Without the hunters' dollars, we wouldn't be able to afford the wildlife the protection it so justly deserves. It is estimated that in 3 years, without this protection, the wildlife would be decimated. One of the really good benefits from the hunting is a regular meat drop. Our season runs from April to the end of November, and during that time, whatever meat we don't utilize within the camps is delivered to the local villages. On average, they'll probably get around about 10 pounds of meat a week during peak season per household, so it's made quite a change to their lives. These regular meat drops have been really effective in curbing the poaching with our local villagers. It's been a long journey, but it's been worth it.
I wonder if anybody stopped and asked the stakeholders if it was okay to hate them, and to hate hunting, and in fact to stop hunting. I wonder if anybody asked the bushmen, who relied on those hunters' dollars and conservation initiatives. I wonder if anybody asked the rancher, who dedicated his life to re-establishing wildlife across his land, the man who has invested everything he has into wildlife. I wonder if anybody asked the concessionaire, who puts a large proportion of his earnings into anti-poaching, building schools, supporting clinics, educating the local populations. Did anybody ask them if it was okay to hate hunting? Did anybody research the effects that closure of hunting would have?
Kwa Tia Hotam.
Koka ateha wildlife ne kaur kabe kwarse ko khoya ka khama. Wa teha ko khaite. Na khas khas ko ana. Au utam.
With the closure of hunting across Africa, so will stop the dollars flowing into wildlife economies brought by visiting hunters. Dollars that stop poaching. Dollars that protect wildlife, that provide jobs, that educate communities. These are dollars that enable true conservation, giving wildlife value. Yes, indeed, these images represent the harsh reality, the destiny of our wildlife when there's no money to protect it. When it's your chance to vote, will you vote for the wildlife and the people of Africa? People whose very lives are invested in wildlife? Or will you vote for the popular misconceptions spawned by social media that's generated by the city-dwelling people of the First World?